Love Island Season 2, Episode 8. I hate to be a spoiler alert for y'all, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you to change it because in 3, 2, 1, I'm going to let you know that Chris and KK did get eliminated. Yes, I'm sad. Yes, that was my couple that I was rooting for to get to the end. But unfortunately, they have left the villa. So let's talk about Episode 8, y'all. So on the last episode, we ended with 3 vulnerable couples. And I'm going to look down because I took a few notes. It was Chris and KK, Johnny and Andrea, and who was the third couple? Andrea and Toby. Damn, I always forget that damn boy name. So Andrea and Toby, Chris and KK, Johnny and Andrea. So the bombshell entered on the last episode. Her name was Sydney. She is the ex-girlfriend of Isaiah, right? Isaiah is partnered with Nicola. So as we get to know Sydney a little bit on this episode, for those like me who did not know her and Isaiah dated for a year after the show ended, and he cheated on her. It ended that way. So it was bad. But you can tell she still thinks he's a nice guy. She said she thinks he's still a nice guy. He just messed up. And Andrea is acting like a baby again because she's vulnerable. And what I think is annoying, I'm just going to say I think that Andrea is annoying. And I think Johnny is going to get very tired of the nagging and complaining and having to reassure her every day. She says she can't catch a break. And I understand because she was the last girl in the very first challenge. She's been on the chopping block ever since. Tariq dumped her ass, just told her she need to go because she was so sorry. So I can understand her feelings, but you can't put all that added pressure on somebody else who just entered the game and trying to cover their own ass. At the end of the day, it's about the love or it's about the money. And we don't know which one Johnny is in it for. Y'all don't know. I know he want the money and he gonna drop her ass like it's hot as soon as the money touches his hand if he get there. But I digress. Last time when I posted a video about the last episode, I did not address Andrea reaction and tears on the previous episode. I thought that, I already said she was a little dingy, right? But I thought it was so eye-opening to how she thinks America views her. And it goes to show that that other people's opinion of us hold a lot of weight, right? Because if any of y'all have been following her outside of season 7 like I have, she has said on numerous occasions that she really doesn't feel like we got to know her or see her personality at all on the show. And so even coming into this season, she was saying, I'm happy y'all will get to see more of me and hope I'm edited in a better light. So seeing her break down like that when they revealed that America saved her, I was sad for her because I was like, I was an Andrea fan. I didn't know much about her. All I know was she was the baddest damn bombshell I done seen come on the screen off this show. So I was happy to see that raw emotion from her. And I was like, okay, I'm going to give her another chance to really like her because she had kind of fell off, right? Let's talk about Josh because I didn't talk about his ass enough last time either. I talked about how fine he was, kind of how Nick was fine to me when I first saw him. But I didn't talk about how he is infatuated with Andrea. He fought to get her back. He put himself on a chopping block to get Andrea back. And I really think he needs to chill out because Andrea is not that into him. And I don't think it's that she's not really into him. I think she likes him, but the desperation is not cute and it's not becoming. And from somebody that feels the same way, when you get somebody that's just doing the most too soon, it's unattractive, even if you thought they were attractive, right? The moment he pay her ass dust, she gonna be on his ass like white on rice. So he needs to just chill out. And I think that's why she liking Toby a little bit more, because he is kind of chill. Like, he gonna grab a kiss when he needs to grab a kiss, but he gonna go on about his business. He ain't finna hound you, okay? So that's what I would say about Josh. Marvin pulls KK for a chat. Marvin kind of looks like Mr. Freeze from The Incredibles. I'm not impressed. Speaking of the chat between Marvin and KK, Marvin pulled KK from sitting with Chris for that chat. I thought that was pretty, so y'all know the rules must be that when somebody come pull your piece from you for a check, you can't say no and pull them back down, because I haven't seen anybody do it. And Chris got some damn nerve to be talking about, I feel away. Every time he hear KK talk to somebody. Every time he sees somebody pull KK for a chat. How you quick to have a feeling, but you're not giving her anything? She basically throwing herself at you. But Chris, like I said on my last video, I feel like he was looking for somebody to chase him. And ain't nobody finna come off chasing you after you let Huda make you look like a fool. So, boy, bye. You snooze, you lose. That's what I was gonna say about that. So Nicola, she gets a text, right? Saying since her and Isaiah won in the heart rate challenge, which I still think that was some bullshit. They didn't raise nobody damn hearts. That they get a night in the hideaway. They need to change this, because what a damn waste. I feel like every time these couples get a trip to the hideaway, it's never a couple that deserves a trip to the hideaway. It's never even a damn couple, a legitimate one at that. And this poor girl talking about, oh, we're going to the hideaway, We never know what's going to happen in the hideaway. Girl, we know what's happening in the hideaway. Now, you might not know, but we, the people, in order to form a more perfect union of the United States, we know ain't not a damn thing finna go on in that hideaway. Isaiah done told your ass he don't see a romantic spark. He don't want it with a fox. He don't want it in a box. He don't want it over there. He don't want it anywhere. So, Nicola, I hate to tell you, but nothing was going down in that hideaway, honey. So, they get to the hideaway. Nicola and Isaiah in the hideaway. And they get a text again. And you know the text ain't never a good damn news when you're in a hideaway. So they get a text saying, out of the vulnerable couples that were selected, Chris and KK, Johnny and Andrea, Toby and Andrea. Out of those 3 couples, select 2 guys to duel, select 2 girls to duel. Poor Nicola. She was so distraught, and she did say it was primarily because Andrea and KK were 2 of her closest friends in there. So I felt bad for her for having to make that decision, right? Sidebar, and I know this ain't got shit to do with this, but I just thought that I should mention. Y'all, I feel like this is my comfort space, right here in my bed, in my room. Because I do realize that most times I want to get up and I want to review stuff and I want to get on here and chat with y'all. But if I got to go upstairs, sit at a desk, set up a light, I don't want to do that shit. So I'm just going to do it from right here where I'm comfortable, where I don't feel like I have to prepare. I ain't got on no damn brassiere or nothing. And I do feel more comfortable here. What y'all think? So this is what I feel like I'll be doing in those cases where I don't feel like being all technical, right? Okay, let me put my little automatic stand back. That helps me. Okay, so where did I end? Talking about they were in the hideaway having to make the difficult decision, right? So the next day, they select Johnny and Chris to go into the duel, right? And for the girls, they select KK and Andrea. Bummer, right? I hated to see them do my girl KK like this. Because, y'all, I just recently watched season 5 because I had started watching the show faithfully from season 6 to season 7. So I went back to watch season 5. And from that season, I learned to love me some KK. Okay? And I feel like she didn't get her just due. What is going on with this thing? Okay. So I didn't feel like KK got her just due, right? So, they nominated them for the duel. And Johnny overall was a good sport about it. He probably was the only one that acted in a mature way. Andrea, she had really raw emotion, but she also handled it maturely. Now that damn KK and Chris, they showed they whole natural black asses, okay? While I understand the emotion and that they were upset, and the betrayal they probably felt by Nicola. And I guess Chris thought he was so cute and giving her them compliments would have saved his ass. And honestly, I thought it was going to save him too. But it didn't. And also, you got to realize she wasn't making the decision alone. She did have a partner, Isaiah. And I guess KK thought her friendship was strong enough to where she wouldn't have voted her. But obviously, that's not the truth. And even if it was, this is a game. So I was kind of like, they shouldn't have acted that bad. But I don't know what emotion it brings up when you know you finna lose a chance at 250,000. Okay? Leading up to this duel was intense as fuck, y'all. It was intense AF. There were a lot of tears. I wanted to focus on KK being sad. Andrea being sad. However, why I end up feeling more sad for Nicola? Not only KK, but Chris was also acting like a butthole, saying stuff like, I would have never did that to y'all. I know it was a game, bro, but I would have never did that to y'all. And Isaiah was like, he taking this shit way too personal. It's a game, and at the end of the day, you one of the strongest competitors. Y'all won 2 challenges, so I understand, being disappointed, but get in there, do your shit, and come back. And I'm with Isaiah on that. But even KK went and sat by the lake by herself, or the river, whatever the hell it is, the beach, hell, the ocean. And Nicola came to kind of just say, I'm sorry. It really wasn't my decision. I made it with my partner. But KK dismissed her and was like, I don't feel like talking. I don't feel like talking. I feel so bad for Nicola, y'all. But I also want to respect KK's boundaries, too. Because when I'm mad, regardless if I'm right, wrong, or right for whatever reason, I want to be left the hell alone when I want to be left alone. So I understood both parties in it. This duel had my anxiety at such a high. My heart was racing so fast, baby. You would have thought I was going at a damn duel myself. And I don't know why I thought KK with those big old thighs after school was going to tear Andrea ass up. But unfortunately, it did not go in her favor. KK lost. She is going home. They girls went first, of course. And I ain't had no hope for Chris. I knew he was going to lose all that hooping and hollering he was doing. But one question that I got about this episode, I was like, hold on. Where the lifesaver at? Where the lifeline? Before every other duel, there's a lifeline. They like, we got a text. You could choose, all Islanders, you could choose another couple to take the place of one other couple. So decide right now. They didn't get shit. All they got was sent their ass on in that ring to duel it on out in the duel. And unfortunately, my favorite couple on there thus far succumbed to the duel. And KK and Chris went home. So it was sad, y'all. I almost cried, honestly. When it be that time of the month, you get kind of emotional. So I was sad. I actually fast forwarded most of both of their duels. I just couldn't take it. I was like, let me just see the results and I can go on with my life. So that's exactly what I did. And unfortunately, while the girls did go the whole time of the duel, they did go 2 rounds, the boys did not. Chris hurt his finger. He said he felt like it was broken, but did y'all see a splint? I didn't see a splint. He walked out just fine with his suitcase with Chris on it. So I was a little confused. So y'all, that really concluded that entire episode. Oh, at the end, before Chris and KK left, KK did pull Nicola to the side and, apologized to her and said she understood, why she did it. A decision had to be made and it just comes along with the territory. I feel like production makes them do that, right? One thing that I do like about this show is that it's positive. I don't have to worry about somebody getting cursed the fuck out too bad, except with the exception of Hood the last time. I don't have to worry about somebody physically fighting and just being super nasty. It stays fun. It stays light. It keeps you on your toes. It keeps your anxiety and your blood flowing. So that's one thing I do appreciate about this show. And then it gives you something to watch every single day. So when I lay down and wind down from a long day, I give me a cup of wine. I watch my Love Island. I jot down my thoughts and I come talk to y'all about it the very next day. But is it just me? I'm going to finish with this. Is it just me? Or was this the longest goodbye in Love Island history? Was it long to me because 2 of my faves left? Or was this shit long? I felt like they were saying goodbye for a good 15 to 20 minutes. I was tired, okay? I was like, at this point, KK and Chris, y'all just gonna go the fuck on home. Because I'm tired, okay? I was tired of almost crying. I was tired. But anyway, y'all, there was episode 8 of Love Island Game Season 2. This was a pretty good episode. What y'all think? Leave y'all comments below. Let me know who y'all rooting for now. I don't even know. Garvey, maybe. I want Garvey. I want her to couple up with somebody else besides Kendall, and I would like her to win. Or Justine. I would love to see a 3-peat. Until next time, y'all. Peace.